Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today we are here in the data center. I have an awesome subscriber and patron, Darren Blade from the New Zealand? From New Zealand, I think that's more right. Well, he's been seeing my server videos on the awesome Lenovo X3650 Model 5, and he contacted me on Patreon and asked if, well, don't you need a display for that thing? Well, yeah, I actually do need a display for that thing. The model comes with a tiny little display where you have a few buttons and you can kind of get some information out of the server, like temperature and good stuff, serial number and other meaningful things. How many wattage, I think, is also there somewhere. And I had been looking for that. Darren suggested that he should just send it to me, and I didn't object. So that came all the way from New Zealand, and I'm looking at the postage fees here. I feel really bad. Like, this is the display itself, and that was $57.6. I don't know if that's New Zealand dollars. Do you have your own dollars in New Zealand? Bloody expensive to ship things around the world, but I'm very, very grateful for Darrell's contribution here. And just the fact that he wants to send this, and well, it turned out that the display wasn't enough. I needed all this media bay here too, where the display sits in, and yeah, Darrell sent that too. So yeah, I feel really bad, but I also feel really good that I have awesome people that want to see me do different stuff on my channel here and just send me this stuff out of maybe not out of nowhere, because Darren is also on my Patreon. So today we're gonna try and put in that display, and hopefully we're gonna have more luck than with that SAS expander. I'm still waiting for the eBay seller says that he's gonna ship me a new one. I hope that he does. So yeah, but let's go to the table and see the new stuff. So the server here kind of have three sections. It has a section here which is most oftenly occupied by hard drives when you get it, or there's a backplane in there. Then there's another section where it's prepared that you can just put in another backplane, and then the third section is where there is the on and off and buttons and stuff like that. And yeah, if you want to replace that, you more or less, but you would have to put the buttons out here on this thingy here instead. So that's a bigger build if you want to replace that. So we're gonna replace this, but we're gonna put in another media bay in here, and yeah, that's kind of how that works. So you can fill up the server with 24 hard drives, or you can have 8 hard drives, and we're gonna put in a display here. So there's different options for the front, and this server is also available in a model where you have 3.5-inch hard drives instead of these 2.5 hard drives. You can actually put in I think 12 you can fit here. That's quite a lot. Okay, let's get this out of the way. The media bay, we're gonna have a look at that. But it came with a nice big box. We don't need to see that. Oh yeah, this is actually not from Darrell. I ordered a power cable for that SAS expander that came in as well. Yeah, and then it turned out not to be the power connector. So yeah, I have that extra. I have an invoice for the media bay here. Thank you very much. And I have a box here that we FedEx. Ooh, that has probably been expensive too. So in this box we have a little New Zealand hello thingy to Morten from a friend in New Zealand. Warmest regards, Darrell Blake. Thank you. But we also have a brand new box. System X3650 Model 5 Advanced LCD Light Path. Awesome. So haven't even had this open. Oh, I thought I had it open. I must have just seen pictures on the internet. What was in it? There we are. So this looks definitely brand new. So it comes with Lenovo papers, warranty, safety, support thingy. I am more interested if there is an installation instructions, Here is something in multiple, very small letters. Okay. Then we have the electronics itself. So we have a new plastic panel for it, like that. There's also the benefit of actually getting 3 USB ports in the front of the server. You get the display, and there is room for a CD-ROM drive. We're not going to be putting that in, so that might be looking a bit ugly for a bit until I find, well, I might actually put in a CD-ROM drive just to not have it look ugly, but well, let's see about that. Then there's the display itself, tiny little thing. So it has 3 buttons and an LED display. Cool. To fit that, we need to put in this media bay, and that's where those 3 USB ports come from. And if we take this plastic thing and put on top of that, we can see what everything is, like power on button and the light tower and 2 other LEDs that's usually bad if they are blinking. Display goes over here, and CD-ROM, so pretty cool. We're also gonna have to find a new home for some cables. There are a bunch of cables in there that needs to go somewhere. Yeah, there is for the lights, and there is for the USB, and there is for probably something more. I wonder how this gets a signal. Okay, we're gonna try that and see how far we get. So we better turn this off. It's still very nice so that I can access it from the back and test stuff. I believe that some of the connections that we have to access is gonna be down here somewhere. So we need to take this plastic thing off. To get to that, we need to take this graphics card out of there. So yeah, that's a jack, but it comes off. So we can put that over there, and we can, oh, this plastic thing is also connected with a battery, so that doesn't go very far either. So that can go like there, and then we can take all this fan assembly can be taken out in a big chunk like that. Very handy, way better access to everything. There is a cable there that we need to mess with. It comes here and it goes and connects over there. So that one is going to be replaced, I'm sure. But I need to find a screw. Does that fit? That will do the job. These 2 are for our hard drives, so we're not gonna. Those just have to go a tiny bit out of the way. The other one comes with a finger screw, so it goes out the front. Okay, so I need to remove the 2 cables. This cable is for the LCD and OP. I am not totally OP might be the LEDs. I'm not totally sure how to release this. Oh, there are some pins there. Okay, me stupid. That was easy. Got a really nice iFixit kit. Also from a subscriber, and I use that regularly. Let's get these out of the way for just a little bit. Here's that cable, and actually this thing just fell out of here now, so that dismounting thing was really quick, so no problem there. So I'm of course gonna save this, and I'm gonna take that screw onto here, put a piece of black tape on top of that so that it doesn't go anywhere. There. Cool. So now the server looks like that. We can take this media tray here. There is a metal thingy that I haven't found out what could be for yet. It even has an IBM number on it, but I have no idea what it's used for yet. Yeah, I need to figure that out. I just went in and I went through the 1260 pages manual there is on this server, which is widely available on the internet. You just go search for the Lenovo X3650 Model 5 manual, and you will get a 1200 pages on everything that you can do on this server. This little bracket is for when you actually want to put in the DVD/CD CD-ROM drive. You put that on the side of the DVD/CD-ROM drive, and you pop it in, and it will lock into place. And yeah, I didn't know that. So we don't need it right now, so I need to tape it somewhere so that it doesn't make a disappearing trip on me. I think I'm just gonna tape it to the bottom here, and something like that. Put a piece of tape on there. That should be good. Yeah, something like that. I don't want it to get lost. I do have a plastic box for my Lenovo models, kind of like this, for all the spare parts that I do have for them, but yeah, it's a tiny little thing. It will get lost down there. So let's try and pop this in. It goes in from the front. Okay, it might be easier to put that display in now while it's out, so I think that might actually be a better choice. Well, let's open this up. This has never been opened, I see. Let's see how that goes. Looks like there's a plastic thingy here to lock that in place. That comes out like that, and then this goes in, something like that, and then this plastic thing, oh, it goes back in, and it locks it. Did you get that? Kind of. Well, plastic thingy, display, put that in. It kind of fits really nicely in there. You can see it from the front, looks like that. Oh, don't want to break it. And then we lock it in place with this plastic thingy. We could probably zoom in a bit. There's a lot of information on that. So yeah, that goes in like that. Still need access to that connector that we need to put in there, and then that locks into place, and the front looks like that. Already has my greasy fingers on it, so that I need to wipe that off at some point. Yeah, and then there's this connector that goes up to the light diodes up here. Well, that also has a connector that goes into that display port, so we will pop that in there, and that goes in that way, and pops in there. Clickety click. Got you. So let's feed those through there. Inside this slot, it's already prepared for hard drives to go in there, if that would have been my choice. So now that is sitting here. It's very ugly on the front. Let's see that. Yeah, it looks like this now. Of course, we need to put that nice plastic thingy on there, and yeah, find a DVD drive for it, just so that it will look nice. So yeah, that's kind of cool. We can tighten this now, I guess. If it, yeah, there is something down there to tighten that to. So cool, that's in. This connector just goes in there. Very easy. Way more connectors in that one than the other one that we took out. Then this one, we need to put that back at the other end of the server. There's some plastic down here that makes sure that the cable is nicely tucked out of the way. So we put that into there, like that. This is actually way too long. Just needs to go into that plug. There. That's cool. Then we need to put these SAS cables back the same way. Took those out so that they would be out of the way. They were out of the way, so now we can put them back in. I do believe that we are done in the back here, so we can put this plastic muffler back. Airflow regulator, fancy name. And we can put the fan assembly back. And I'll put the graphics card back in as well. So let's see if it's safe to put on this nice cover back here. Oh, up here. How does that go on? There's a little bit of something right there, but it looks nice. Just needs that DVD drive. So, cool. And let's power this and turn it on. Power on. Is it blinking? Ooh, we have everything. Oh, cool. Ooh. IMM secure boot. That's sweet. So when you power up the server, it will boot the IMM, the integrated management module that is inside the server. And before that is booted, well, it's not able to reach any information because that's kind of a little computer slash server of its own, and that it's in control of the rest of the server. It's kind of a symbiont way, like it doesn't interfere. It can interfere, like power on, power off, but also it can save log files. So if something weird happens to your server, well, the IMM will know what happened, and you can go in there and see it. And yeah, that's very interesting. I'm gonna wait a little bit and see what happens when it has booted. I don't want to turn the server on if I don't have to, because that backplane and stuff isn't working yet. Okay, the IMM has booted, so now we get some information here, and it, of course, it brags who it is. It's a System X3650 Model 5 and IMM loading. But we can already see some stuff. We can see that system has encountered no errors. Awesome. Vital product data, that is also available. If you go into the IMM, you can actually get that. System firmware, we can see what version is on here. We just firmware updated this, actually just the last video, so it should be on the latest and greatest. IMM network information, system environmental information. We can go in there, that's kind of interesting. We can see that the ambient temperature here in my data center, the air that it's taking in, is 22 degrees C. It's a nice warm place to be. Then we can see that neither of the CPUs has any temperature. Well, only CPU 1 is actually mounted, so CPU 2, you're excused. Then we can see that power supply sees 232 volts. Awesome. We are currently in this off state using 16 watts. And that's the last bit of information there. Let's see what else. Action. What does that do? Restore IMM defaults. Nah. Request IMM soft restart. Okay, so we can reboot the IMM from the control panels. That's kind of neat. Thank you very much. Quick boot mode. Okay. Clear CMOS. No. System reset button. So there is some things we can do there. I haven't had one of these for ages, so I don't really know what I can do here. So most of it is probably just a little bit of information, and I can do a little bit here and there. And as there is no errors, I can also not see any errors. We can see some product data. There's the model number and the serial number and unique ID. That's about it. Firmware. We get the firmware version. Yeah. So there is the primary and there is the alternative. So, and same thing with the BIOS, primary BIOS and alternative BIOS. So if the primary BIOS fails, you can use the alternative one. That does look cool, doesn't it? Awesome. I really have to say a big thank you to Daryl from New Zealand. Darren, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I'm really bad at that. I'm sorry. But I am very grateful for this awesome display where I can now see how much power my server uses, and I can kind of show it to you on screen right away, which is a cool feature. So we can power it up and we can see how much power it uses. We can pop in a couple of hard drives and we can see how much power it uses. We can do a big CPU test and see how much power it uses. So that's, I like that. Otherwise, it will also show up if there's an error. You can kind of see directly on the display that, well, memory DIMM number XX whatever has well, an error, and well, you should replace that. So that would also be very beneficial. I don't promote this much, but you should really go and check me out over on Patreon. I post a weekly video for my Patreon supporters. It's a $3 a month tier. You get a video. $1 a month, you get my appreciation and sometimes a little something. Sometimes I post videos to both the $1 and $3 tier over there. So that helps out a great big deal. I enjoy very much having a lot of patrons that just pays a little bit, but enough people contributing $3, well, I get to buy awesome equipment like this SAS backplane that unfortunately didn't work, but that was Patreon money that went into that, and I am still getting that. I'm just waiting for the eBay seller, and he has very nicely said that he was gonna be shipping me another one, so I am waiting for that. So hopefully that's gonna work out. Otherwise I might tell you about who it is. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Thank you very much for the awesome postcard from New Zealand. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. Please remember to like this video and have a really nice day. Bye bye. Did I forget anything? I might have. Hit the bell thing.